am woozy on. I guess you could look at the reported exchange liquidities of various exchanges, but there's so many. I don't know.
I mean, if you really wanted to do the math, you could, but you'd have to take the reported liquidity to daily volume of Bitcoin across, I don't know, take like the top 5 exchanges maybe. And then then maybe you can figure out what kind of slippage there would be if somebody market dumped 140,000 Bitcoin on the market across those
It'll
5
probably,
exchanges. You
I
know?
mean, it'll be significant. I mean, I think it could even break the 12K. Who knows? I'm more
They were like,
interested in what they're gonna do with that money rather than that they're going to dump it. I'm pretty sure. Maybe not all of it, but they're definitely gonna take massive profits, which they are in profit by a lot. But what they're gonna do with it is what I'm more interested in.
you
Are
know,
they
and like
getting
just talking
into
about
other
liquidity,
cryptos?
right? Just talking about liquidity, like actual Bitcoin liquidity, and it's fucking Bitcoin, and you know that a lot of that liquidity, like volume, is fake. So because it's not fake because they want to prop up Bitcoin, it's fake because they want to make themselves look better in a bear market. So of course they're market making their own bid and ask, right? Their own volume on these exchanges. So I literally I'm so pessimistic when it comes to crypto markets that I don't think shit at face value anymore because I know almost everything is fake, right?
Not everything, but yes, they're probably more than 95% of the stuff in
Yeah,
crypto is shit.
my in my mind I was saying more than 90% is probably you know make believe, depending on what you're talking about.
If we're just talking about number of tokens, it's more than 95%. If we're talking about economic energy wise, probably yeah, more than 90% still.
We'll see, because I mean, since there's no visibility on how far development is, they literally need to create a bot to DDoS the private testnet. I mean, shit, that could take a few months for them to iterate through.
Hey,
I mean, who knows?
I want to see some
hey
coins
Gamma.
go to zero, man.
Hey Gamma. So I don't know. Take 140,000 Bitcoin times 25,000. It's way more than 2 billion. You do it real quick. I'm sure you can. I'm driving.
141,000 Bitcoin should be between 2 to 3 billion, no? I didn't do the math.
Add it up. I think it's more like 4 billion.
Okay, and then you could go across like Gemini, Big Finance, Coinbase. I don't know what I don't know OKX or I don't know other big fucking exchanges.
It's
And then like what's the
3.2 billion, whatever.
and then what's the actual like real volume of I mean talking about people that are on the other side of the order book to take those orders. I don't know what that percentage is because I don't play that game, but like it's going to be less than what is actually reported. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what it does in the market.
I mean, let's say they all dump around the same time. It'll be probably the biggest death wave we've ever seen in Bitcoin in history. Well, minus the very early days, maybe. But I also doubt that it'll be that fast and that concerted, unless they all banded together, which is possible.
I mean,
I think
I
it's going
don't.
to
I
take a little bit of
honestly,
time already due to the fact that there might not even be that much liquidity to be able to dump that much at the same time.
yeah. I mean, I actually don't expect there to be this huge death wick. But will it continue going down from there? Yeah, probably they're going to sell it down.
Yeah, I don't
And
think they're going to
like we
market
could,
sell. They've smartened
no,
up.
they would
I hope.
totally not. Like no fucking way they're going to market sell in like a single day 140,000 Bitcoin. That doesn't make any sense at all. I mean, you're just giving money away. But like, could we hit like 11 or 10K over the month after that happens? I mean, yeah, sure. You know, it totally happened.
I think it's going to happen over the course of a month or so. It's really not going to be that fucking fast. They're not in a rush. I mean, they should be in a rush if they know that they have to raise the others to get the best price, sure. But it's going to take like a week or so.
You know, the other news was the disclosure that Tesla sold 75% of their Bitcoin. Yeah, not surprising, like at
When did
all.
they sell it?
No, I mean they're done already. They did a financial filing, and they said that they had already sold 75% of their Bitcoin, which is like over 900 million. And I'm like, yeah, not surprised.
Yeah, I'm asking when, like, was it at the top?
Oh, I don't know if it was the top or if it was maybe dollar hours average over the last 3 months or 6 months, or I don't know.
Okay.
All I
Yeah,
know
I'm
is
just
it's
still
done
trying to
already.
figure out if Elon doesn't know what the fuck he's doing or he's just manipulating markets.
I mean, like, I firmly believed when he was talking about Bitcoin buying it that he literally would probably sell the bottom. Like, when the bear market happened, everyone would freak out and he would fucking sell on the way down and liquidate his position because he has no faith in anything ever, right? Now, on the flip side, Sailor, with his rhetoric and everything, yeah, the only way I expected him to actually sell was if he got liquidated, which perhaps that's not going to be very likely. But I think the only way he sells is if it gets liquidated, which is unlikely at this point, I think. So we'll see. Because, you know, he's down, what, $1.8 billion. But if he just holds through the bear market, he'll come out the other side. Bitcoin will go back up to an all-time high, I don't know, 3 years from now or whatever. It'll probably spike up over 100 grand at some point, you know, to like some number. And then he'll be like, oh my God, he's the best investor ever. And like right now, he's like, oh, you're the worst investor ever. I'm like,
That's why
okay,
they're all
yeah.
stalling. That's why they all try to use the stall tactics. All these fucking lenders. Like, yeah. Send some lawyers on it. I'll just wait for the bull run to happen. So silly.
You know, the funniest shit. I mean, not funny for the people who are like losing a bunch of money, but it's kind of funny, are the fact that Celsius, like the dude, like Alex Machinsky or whatever how the fuck you can tell his name, literally like on multiple YouTube channels, like on interviews, said, "Oh, it's perfectly safe. Everyone should just give us all your crypto because we're good. It's actually better for us to hold it than like for you to hold it because you might lose your keys and blah 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 blah." And then some like yesterday there was a tweet, right? Celsius's lawyers say everyone who gave them crypto doesn't own it anymore. So you're like, fuck you.
Yeah, of course not.
And you're like,
You
yeah, I
never
didn't see
owned
it.
it. Like,
I didn't see that coming. Well, I kind of did.
you never owned it. I mean, they could literally pretend they lost all your keys, and there's fuck all you could do about it. I mean, you could take legal action for sure, but it's not going to return your funds if they pretend to have buried them under the ground or lost them or my
Yeah.
dog
No,
ate it.
I mean it's but
It's fucked.
the irony of, but I'm just saying like the irony of him being on like a month or a month and a half ago on a YouTube where he like they talked about this. And they're like, yeah, you can. Where your
Oh,
money's perfectly
Richard
safe with us,
literally said,
right?
"Not your keys, not your crypto," or something on the likes, and I'm pretty sure I even saw him nod for a second.
Yeah. I mean, so the irony is just not lost on me at all. So I know there was a few people posted saying like I sold my money out after that live stream, blah blah blah. So I thank you, Richard. You saved me because you informed me of something that I needed to know. And then there was not that many. Right? Mostly everyone got fucked.
I mean, I was actually very surprised how civil that whole group discussion was. I mean, it's. I think that was maybe one of the conditions that they let him in, that he doesn't fucking go off on everybody. But goddamn, he could have just.
Yeah, Richard's trying to play nice with some of these media
He's not
outlets
gonna
that
get
are giving
invited with
him.
these big guys otherwise. It's the problem.
Yeah, like the Fox Business thing. People were complaining in chat and on Twitter about how, hey, oh, Richard should have done this or that. I'm like, dude, he wants to be invited back, so he's got to play ball. And so he's kind of bland. It was kind of like deal with like some of the old stuff from like 3 years ago bullshit. I'm like, but the dude wants to get invited back, and the way you get invited back is not being asked right to the host. You answer the fucking question that's before you. You get invited back. Yay! Right? It's a game you fucking have to play.
Just watched the second part of the Goldstein interview, or the Goldstein version of it. That was a lot better versus the one where he got destroyed.
Yeah, I'm not spending a lot of time on these interviews because there's like literally there's not gonna be no information. Like the only information I need is Pulsechain launches. Like I want a Pulsechain update, and I want to know Pulsechain is alive. Everything else is marketing for people who don't know shit about Richard, Hex, Pulsechain, PulseX, which is great, awesome, right? But it doesn't like inform me of anything. So I totally tweet out the information. I'll like tweet out the link for people who like, well, maybe we'll see it. But I really don't need to watch any more videos. I'm not the target audience.
Well, on one of the PulseCon videos, I think he dropped some nuggets about Pulsechain. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah, whenever there's a nugget of like actual news, somebody snips it and then makes it like a 30-second clip of the actual information. So I don't actually need to waste 4 hours because somebody will like snip it out 30 seconds or a minute or 2 minutes of the actual like information and then share it in Telegram and Twitter or somewhere. And then I just watch that and I go, okay, great. I saved 4 hours. And I watched the actual relevant, like I got the actual relevant talking point that he said. Yay for me, saving 4 hours. So I am all about getting those clips to stay informed as best possible.
I was wondering why Richard chooses to use only these formats for, well, news slash roadmaps, if you can really call them, because most of the other projects, if you can call them that, they usually do it in form of a press release, blog article, etc., and then they post it on their own site. I'm sure there's an angle to that, but I'm just trying to figure that out.
There's got to be some angle, but I wish it was streamlined, like in some better way of like actual relevant fucking information sometimes. Because like what I'm talking about, like I watch a 4 hour clip and then he might have like some nugget of like an update in the middle of some fucking like hour 3:30 of some random.
I mean, look, every relatively large project in crypto yes, I mean, sure, there's a lot of garbage. Not gonna deny it, but they've got the way how to release out, the way how to release roadmaps and updates. They've got that down to a science. And even if there's a benefit of doing everything in a stream, which I'm sure there is some, why not add other formats on top? Like just have a blog section on hex.com or a blog section on pulsechain.com where you post these sorts of updates. I think maybe one of the reasons is because of the whole security bullshit. If you post updates and roadmaps and you know create expectation of profit of the work or others, maybe that's the angle. I don't know. I mean, people aren't that illiterate. Like, you can create articles, people will read them, people will share them.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be all good. It'll all come out in the end. No big deal. I mean, streamlining information. Hopefully, that will happen. Because literally, well, really, the only information I really need is like GitLab updates with like updates to the client. You know what I mean? And then I have my dashboard, which shows me the network is functional. Right? I mean, that's really all I need, technically. And we haven't had a client update in like 3 months because they're doing everything in private repos and they're doing private test nets. And my testnet dashboard is just like just keep chugging along, just showing me blocks produced every 3 seconds. No big deal.
My guess is that he wants all the eyes on one medium to not distribute it around, so it looks like the one thing that he does share has all the views versus some people opting to just read stuff and then that third never even watching any of the videos, like because you just said it yourself, right? You wouldn't, you'd rather wait for someone to make a snippet, for example, or a summary blog, what the fuck ever.
Yeah, almost all of the relevant information in the last, I don't know, at least 3 months has come in like a 30-second snippet from a random video from when he's talking to somebody and they ask, "Hey, what about Pulsechain?" And then he gives like not even an update, just like this is new, like the DDoS thing, literally random video.
Yeah, but I think I got it now. I think he cannot measure those views. It's somebody else's account. He has no control over it. I mean, sure, he can't prevent people from snipping stuff and whatever, but I think he wants to have sort of full control over the analytics.
Yeah, I mean, any real update will come through his Twitter, and they'll do a video on it. So it's basically just, like I've been posting videos about like, "Hey, I'm on vacation, trying not to whine about Pulsechain," but like I'm like, it's really hard not to whine about like a fee that hasn't launched. But I'm really trying really hard not to think about it too much. But it's like literally the only thing I think about, so it's really hard.
Oh, good. Enjoy your vacation, dude.
Yeah, I'm at the pool with my son, and then we went to the beach, and we're gonna eat dinner, and then we're gonna a couple more days at the beach, enjoying, time here in Florida. Good times.
Good stuff. I'm gonna hop off. Talk to you guys later.
Yeah, later, man. Me too. Yeah, talk to everybody later.